Why is it so important to learn how to critique? Because it helps you as an author to be exposed to more different genres of literature and to look at the building blocks of a novel and to see what works and what doesn't work, which is really going to help you to hone your craft in the future. Hello writers, welcome to Writing Group Recap. I'm Karena of Spalmorum, and this is the weekly series where we go over all of the crucial points that I touched upon in my Marin County writing group in 5 minutes or less so that you can get the information, motivation, and inspiration that you were seeking and then get right back to writing without wasting any time. If you do have time to attend a writing group, I highly recommend it, obviously, but if you do not, this is a really good substitute. So this week we talked about critiques. I think critiques are a really important thing to discuss because not everyone knows what they are. A lot of people are scared to join a writing group because of the concept of the critique. They think that critique equals criticism, and that could not be further from the truth. Critique means to examine something carefully to try to improve it, whereas criticism means to find something lacking. Use the golden rule, you guys. Critique the way that you would like to be critiqued, and everything will go just great. Why is it so important to learn how to critique? Because it helps you as an author to be exposed to more different genres of literature and to look at the building blocks of a novel and to see what works and what doesn't work, which is really going to help you to hone your craft in the future. So, how does one go about doing a critique? The first thing you're going to do is you're going to consider whether you are familiar with the genre that you are critiquing, because you need to be honest with the author as to whether you're completely familiar with what you're doing. A lot of genres have their own requirements, and so it'll be good if you know what those are, but if not, you can still do a really good job by examining the building blocks of what they've written. Part number 2 is you really need to consider who the audience is. Is the audience young adult readers? Is it moms on vacation? Is it somebody looking for something intellectual? All of those genres are going to be aimed at a different reader, so they're going to be stylistically different, and so you can't be judging them exactly the same way. Which things are you going to look at as you critique? First of all, I recommend that you have a pencil or a pad of paper and a pen next to you as you read, because you're going to be forgetting some of these elements that you have seen, and it'd be great to remember everything so you can give your feedback back to your writer. Number 1, look at the opening lines. Perfectly in order. Opening lines are very important. How does the book begin? How does the scene begin? Do we get sucked into it right away? Is it a little boring, a little slow, or really exciting and making us want to read the rest? Very important to know. Number 2, how is the conflict? Conflict is that crucial piece of any scene and any book. This is what moves the plot forward. This is what motivates people to act. And we need to see that the conflict is very clearly laid out and that each scene supports it. So how is that laid out, and is it effective? Number 3, the plot. Are there things that are missing for the reader to understand the plot? Does the plot move along at the right pace? Is there enough of a plot? Does enough happening? Too much happening? All of those things are plot elements that are good to look at, so check them out. There's also the characters. How are they described? How is the setting described? And are those appropriate to the plot? Are those supportive? And how is the style? How's the language? Does it work? Is the vocabulary correct? Are there words that are used wrong? And stylistically, are there punctuation errors, grammar errors? Are things a little bit messed up in the formatting? You may think that this is for the editor to catch, but actually you're doing your writers a huge favor if you can catch it early on so that they can fix those mistakes and continue writing correctly. That would be really good. Another thing is, when you are an author listening to a critique of your work, wait until the critiquer is finished so that you can then address everything, but that you can also listen to things carefully. I think it's a real talent to learn how to accept a critique and then act on it and correct your book and make it better. Isn't that what we're all after? We definitely are. I think it's really great to have that teamwork between the critiquer and the critiquee, the writer, and to see how you can help each other to make a book better. And also, as a critiquer, that you will have learned something at the end of your critique, and I think that's a beautiful thing. The last thing to consider is that just because it's a critique doesn't mean that you shouldn't compliment your writers. If they've done something really successfully, I think that you should let them know that. People love praise. Don't just blow sunshine up their butt, but definitely praise the things that work well, because that is also very important. That's it, you guys. I hope that this was helpful for you. If you have any more questions or comments, definitely leave them down below. Don't forget to subscribe so that you'll never miss a writing group recap. And I will see you guys next week. In the meantime, keep writing